everyone, myself Dr. P. Soumya, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry. Today I'm going to discuss about outcome-based education. So in this session I'm going to cover levels of OBE, program educational objectives, program specific outcomes, program outcomes, course outcomes, and program outcomes by NBA, course outcome, program outcome mapping. Program education, here levels of OBE, program educational objectives, program specific outcomes, program outcomes, course outcomes, and program outcomes by NBA, course outcome, program outcome mapping, PO, COPO mapping. So here program educational objectives. So we have 4 levels of OBE. First one is program educational objectives, program specific outcomes, program outcomes, and course outcomes. Program educational objectives, program specific outcomes, program outcomes, course outcomes. Here, first one is program educational objectives. It can describe the career and professional accomplishments that a program would prepare the graduates to achieve in 3 to 5 years after their graduation. So the program educational objectives, these can describe the career and professional accomplishments of the student, the program that would prepare the graduates to achieve in 3 to 5 years after their graduation. 3 to 5 years after their graduation. So this can be prepared with an aim to what the students are able to do in 4 to 5 years after the completion of program with respect to professional accomplishments. So this should be prepared by HOD in consultation with the faculty members. So the program educational objectives, this is prepared by HOD and with the help of faculty members. So program educational assessment is not made compulsory by NBA as it is quite difficult to measure in Indian context. So here NBA assessors usually do not ask for PEO assessment. So PEOs are about professional and career accomplishment after 4 to 5 years of graduation. So PEOs can be written from the different perspectives like career, technical competency and behaviors. So while writing the PEOs, do not use technical terms as it will be read by prospective students who wants to join the program. So in PEOs, while writing the PEOs, do not use technical terms. So as it will be read by prospective students who wants to join in the program. So 3 to 5 PEOs are recommended. So we have to write 3 to 5 PEOs, program educational objectives for each program. Here, program specific outcomes. So program specific outcomes are statements that describe what the graduates of specific engineering program should be able to do. So these are statements describe what the graduates of specific engineering program should be able to do. Here, this will be prepared by HOD, so which makes the students to realize the fact that the knowledge and techniques learned in the course has direct implication for the betterment of society sustainability in your future. So this could be prepared by NBA. This could be prepared by NBA. This could be prepared by HOD. Here a list of PSOs written for the Department of Computer Science and Engineering is given below. Here PSO1, PSO2, PSO3. So first PSO1 is understand, design and analyze computer programs in the areas related to algorithms, system software, web design, big data, artificial intelligence, machine learning and networking. So this is PSO1, program specific outcomes of Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Here PSO2 is focus on improving software reliability, network security and information retrieval systems. So here PSO3 is make use of modern computer tools for creating innovative career paths to be an entrepreneur and decide for higher studies. So here the 3 PSO are defined here for computer science department. Here what are program outcomes? So there are 12 POs prepared by NBA. So there are 12 POs that they are prepared by NBA. These POs are what the student are able to do immediately after the completion of the program. So these POs are what the student are able to do immediately after the completion of their BTech program or their MTech program like that. So here this should be prepared by HOD. So program outcomes also prepared by HOD. Here POs are to be in line with the graduate attributes as specified in the Washington Accord. So POs are to be specific, measurable, achievable. So POs are specific. These are specific, measurable. These are measurable and achievable. So POs are to be specific, measurable and achievable. So here the NBA has defined 12 POs and you need not define those POs by yourself, and it is common for all the institutions in India. So NBA is defined 12 POs. So this is very common to all the institutions in India. Here in the syllabus book given given to students, there should be clear mention of course objectives, course outcomes, and along with the COPO course articulation matrix for all the courses. So the syllabus book which is given to the students, there should be a clear mention of course objectives, course outcomes along with the COPO articulation matrix for all the courses. So course outcomes. Course outcomes are prepared by faculty in charge or course coordinator about what the student are able to do immediately after the completion of course. So here it can be prepared by course coordinator or faculty in charge. So this is about what the student will be able to do immediately after the course completion of course. Here when creating course outcomes, just remember that the outcome should clearly state what student will do or produce to determine and or demonstrate their learning. So course learning outcome statements refer to specific knowledge, practical skills, areas of professional development, attitude, higher order thinking skills, etc. So course learning outcome statements refer to specific knowledge, practical skills, areas of personal development, attitudes, higher order skills, higher order thinking skills, etc. So that faculty members expect students to develop, learn or master during a course. Here, well-formulated set of course outcomes will describe what a faculty member hopes to successfully accomplish in offering their particular course to prospective students, or what specific skills, competences, knowledge the faculty member believes that the students will have attained once the course is completed. So the course outcomes means the specific skills, competences and knowledge the faculty member believes the students will have attained once the course is completed. So what outcomes are we can get from the students after the completion of the course. This is about course outcomes. So this can be defined or prepared by the faculty in charge or course coordinator. So this is about what the students are able to do after immediate completion of the course. Here, the learning outcomes need to be concise descriptions of what learning is expected to take place by the course completion. So by the course completion, the learning outcomes need to be concise descriptions of what learning is expected to take place by the course completion. Here, when creating course outcomes, consider the following guidelines as we develop them either individually or as a part of multi-section group. Here, first point is limit the course outcomes to 8 to 12 statements for the entire course. Means more detailed outcomes can be developed for individual units, assignments, chapters, if the instruction it is a wish of instructor. So here, limit the course outcomes to 8 to 12 statements. So for the entire course. So focus on overarching knowledge and or skills rather than small or trivial details. So focus on knowledge and skills. Focus on knowledge and skills that are central to the course topic and or a discipline. So focus on knowledge and skills that are central to the course topic or a course discipline. Here, create statements that have a student focus rather than an instructor-centric approach. An instructor-centric approach. So this we have to follow these guidelines while creating the course outcomes. Limit the course outcomes 8 to 12 statements for the entire course. Focus on overarching knowledge or skills rather than small or trivial details. Focus on knowledge and skills that are central to the course topic, and create statements that have a student focus rather than an instructor-centric approach. Here, focus on learning that results from the course rather than describing activities or lessons that are in the course. So, incorporate or reflect the institutional department mission. So, focus on the learning means results from the course rather than describing activities or lessons that are in the course. So, incorporate and or reflect the institutional and departmental missions. Incorporate or reflect the institutional or departmental missions. So, include various ways for students to show success. Include various ways to students to success. And so, this can be rather than using single statements such as at the end of the course, student will know as the stem for the each expected outcome. So, we have to use this stem for each course outcome. So, the end of the course, the student will know dash, like this is used for the preparing course outcomes. Here, when developing learning outcomes, here are the core questions to ask ourselves. What do we want students in the course to learn? What do we want the students to be able to do? Are the outcomes observable, measurable, and are they able to be performed by the students? So these questions to be asked ourselves while developing the learning or course outcomes. So course outcome statements on the course level. Course outcome statements on the course level describe here what faculty members want students to know at the end of the course and what faculty members want students to be able to do at the end of the course. So course outcomes have three major characteristics. They specify an action by the students or learners that is observable. They specify an action by the students or learners that is observable. They specify an action by the students or learners that is measurable. So it is an observable and measurable. So this can specify the action that is done by the students and learners rather than the faculty members. So they specify an action that is done by the students or learners rather than the faculty members. So it can be the course outcomes effectively developed and expected learning outcome statement should possess all three of the characteristics. When this is done, the expected learning outcomes for the course are designed so that they can be assessed. So, when stating expected learning outcome, it is important to use verbs. So, it is very important to use verbs that describe exactly what the students will be able to do upon the completion of the course. So, while defining the course outcomes, the usage of verbs is very important. So that verbs should describe exactly what the students will be able to do upon the completion of the course. So, CO-PO mapping. So, course outcomes address the abilities to be attained by the students upon the completion of the course. So, CO-PO mapping shows the educational relationship between the course outcomes and program outcomes for a course. Here, CO-PO mapping strongly indicates whether the students are able to achieve course learning objectives or not. Here, the course outcomes these need to link the program outcomes. Here, the course outcomes need to link with the program outcomes defined by the HOD, head of the department. Here, the course learning outcomes formula is the student should be able to do and behavior resulting evidence. So, the course learning outcome formula is the student should be able to do behavior resulting evidence. So this is the formula of course learning outcome. So what are the characteristics of effective course outcomes? So we have to prepare effective course outcomes while defining a course and syllabus. So here, well written course outcomes describe what you want. It will describe what you want your students to learn in your course. And these are aligned with the program goals and objectives. And the effective course outcomes tell how will you know an instructional goal has been achieved. And it will tells the use action words that specify definite observable behaviors, and it is accessible through one or more indicators. So like papers, quizzes, projects, presentation, journals and portfolios. And these are realistic and achievable. So these can use simple language. So effective course outcomes, this can describe what you want your students to learn in your course, and these are aligned with the program goals and objectives. And this tells how you know an instructional goal has been achieved, and it use action words that specify definite and observable behaviors, and it is realistic and achievable, and use of simple language is very important. So while defining the effective course outcomes. So examples of effective course outcomes are: after successful completion of the course, students will be able to do critically review the methodology of a research study published in a scholarly sociology journal. So the student will be able to do critically review the methodology of research methodology that's published in a journal, in a social journal. So he should be able to design a website using HTML and JavaScript, and student will be able to do describe and present the contributions of women to American history, and this can recognize the works of major Renaissance artists. So this can be the effective course outcomes facilitate a group to achieve agreed upon goals. So these many characteristics of effective course outcomes are there. So finally, we can analyze the student are able to analyze the character's motivation and portray the character before an audience. So they can able to determine and apply appropriate statistical procedures to analyze the results of simple experiments. And also they can develop an individual learning plan for a child with a learning disability. And they can produce a strategic plan for a small manufacturing business. So these are the characteristics of effective course outcomes. So differentiate among 5 major approaches to literary analysis, and student will be able to list the major ethical issues one must consider when planning a human subject study. So students must be able to able to locate and critically evaluate information on current political issues on web. So they can easily list and describe the functions of major components of human nervous system, and the students will be able to correctly classify rock samples found in. So they can conduct a systems analysis for a group of intersections, and they can demonstrate active listening skills when interviewing clients. So student will be able to apply social physiological principles to suggest solutions to contemporary social problems. So here, vital features and key competencies of program outcomes. So we have 12 program outcomes. So this is defined by NBA. So first PO1 is engineering knowledge. Program outcome 1 is engineering knowledge. So apply the knowledge of mathematics, science, engineering fundamentals, and engineering specialization to the solution of complex engineering problems. So PO1 is engineering knowledge. It tells about application. Apply the knowledge of mathematics, science, and engineering fundamentals and engineering specialization to the solution of complex engineering problems. And knowledge understanding the applications of engineering problems. Here, this PO1 is having 3 key competencies. First one is scientific principles and methodology. Second one is mathematical principles, and third one is own and other engineering disciplines to integrate or support study of their own engineering discipline. First one is scientific principles and methodology. Second one is mathematical principles. Third one is own and or other engineering disciplines to integrate or support study of their own engineering disciplines. So this indicates, PO1 indicates engineering knowledge, and it is having 3 key competencies. PO, it is describes about problem analysis. So identify, formulate, review research literature, and analyze complex form engineering problems, reaching substantiated conclusions using first principles of mathematics, natural sciences, engineering sciences. So here problem analysis by using principles of mathematics and natural sciences. Here it identify problem, formulate problem, or review research literature about problem and analyze the complex engineering problems, reaching substantiated conclusions using first principles of mathematics, natural sciences, and engineering sciences. So this is having 10 key competencies here. First one is problem or opportunity identification. Second one is problem statement and system definition. Third one is problem formulation and abstraction. Fourth one is information and data collection, model translation, validation, experimental design, and solution development or experimentation or implementation. So ninth one is interpretation. 14th one is documentation. So first one is problem or opportunity identification, problem statement, system definition, problem formulation and abstraction, model. Fourth one is information and data collection, model translation, validation, experimental design, solution development or experimentation or implementation. So next one is interpretation of results, documentation. So PO2 is problem analysis. It is having 10 key competencies. So PO3, so design or development of solutions. PO3 defines, it will explain about design or development of solutions. So design solutions for complex engineering problems, design system components or processes that meet the specified needs with appropriate consideration for the public health and safety and the cultural, societal and environmental consideration. Design or development of solution, it indicates the PO3 design solutions for complex engineering problems, or design system components or processes that meet the specific needs with appropriate consideration for the public health and safety, and the cultural, societal, and environmental considerations. So the key competences, key competence is investigate and define a problem and identify constraints, including environmental and sustainability limitations, health and safety, and risk assessment issues. Risk assessment issues. Second key competency is understand customer and user needs and the importance of considerations such as aesthetics. Here, third one is identify and manage cost drivers. Identify and manage cost drivers. So use creativity to establish innovative solutions and ensure fitness for the purpose of for all aspects of problem, including production, operation, maintenance, disposal. Production, operation, maintenance, and disposal. Here, sixth key competency is manage the design, process, and evaluate outcomes, knowledge and understanding of commercial and economic context of engineering processes. So, the eighth key competency is knowledge of management techniques which may be used to achieve engineering objectives within that context. Here, ninth is understanding of requirement for the engineering activities to promote sustainable development. So, 10th one is awareness of framework of relevant legal requirements governing engineering activities, including personal health, safety, and risk issues. So, this is about PO3. So, PO4, it is conduct investigations of complex problems. Conduct investigations of complex problems, use research-based knowledge and research methods, including design of experiments, analysis and interpretation of data, and synthesis of information to provide valid conclusions. So, use research-based knowledge and research methods, including design of experiments, analysis and interpretation of data, and synthesis of the information to provide valid conclusions. So here, first key competence of PO4 is knowledge of characteristics of particular material, equipment, processes, or products. So second is workshop and laboratory skills. And third one is understanding of context in which engineering knowledge can be applied. Example, operations and management, technology development, etc. So fourth one is understanding use of technical literature and other information sources, awareness of nature of intellectual property and contractual issues. So fifth one is understanding of appropriate codes of practice and industry standards. Sixth one is awareness of quality issues. Seventh is ability to work with technical uncertainty, understanding of engineering principles, ability to apply them to analyze key engineering processes. And ninth one is ability to identify, classify, and describe the performance of the systems and components through the use of analytical methods and modeling techniques. So 10th is ability to apply quantitative methods and computer software relevant to their engineering discipline in order to solve engineering problems. So 11th is understanding and ability to apply a systems approach to engineering problems. So here PO4 is having 11 key competences and PO5 is modern tool usage. Modern tool usage. Here create, select and apply appropriate techniques, resources and modern engineering and IT tools, including prediction and modeling to complex engineering activities with the understanding of limitations. Here, first key competency of PO5 is computer software, simulation packages, diagnostic equipment, technical library resources, literature, search tools. So PO6 is the engineer and society apply reasoning informed. So here this will tells about apply reasoning informed by the contextual knowledge to assess societal health, safety, legal and cultural issues, and the consequent responsibility relevant to the professional engineering practice. Here, first key competency of PO6 is knowledge and understanding of commercial and economic context of engineering processes, and knowledge of management techniques which may be used to achieve engineering objectives within that context. And third is understanding of requirement for engineering activities to promote sustainable development. And fourth one is awareness of framework of relevant legal requirements governing engineering activities, including personal health, safety, and risk issues. Here, next, understanding of need for high level of professional and ethical conduct in engineering. So, PO6 is having five key competencies or vital features. Here, PO7 tells about environment and sustainability. So, understand the impact of the professional engineering solutions in societal and environmental context and demonstrate the knowledge of and need for sustainable development. So it will impact of professional engineering solutions. So this is not technical. This is not technical PO. So this is socio-economic, political, environmental. So PO7 first key competency is socio-economic, second political, and the third one is environmental. So PO8 is ethics. Apply ethical principles and commit to professional ethics and responsibilities and norms of engineering practice. Here, first key competency is it comprises 4 components: ability to make informed ethical choices, knowledge of professional codes of ethics, evaluates the ethical dimensions of professional practice, and demonstrates ethical behavior. So it will demonstrate ethical behavior. It evaluates the ethical dimensions of professional practice. So it will ability to make informed ethical choices, knowledge of professional codes of ethics. So complete PO8 ethics. Here, 2 is stood up for what they believed in, and third is high degree of trust and integrity. High degree of trust and integrity. So PO9 is individual and teamwork. So here it functions effectively as an individual and as a member or leader in diverse teams and in multidisciplinary settings. Here, first one is independence, second one is maturity, requiring only the achievement of goals to drive their performance, and this is the third one is self-direction, fourth one is teams are used during the classroom periods, in the hands-on labs, or in the design projects. So some teams change for 8-week industry-oriented mini project and for the 17-week design project. So instruction on effective teamwork and project management, it is provided along with an appropriate textbook for reference. So 7th key competency is teamwork is important not only for helping the students know their classmates but also in completing assignments. Here, the students also responsible for evaluating each other's performance, which is then reflected in the final grade. So here 9th is key competency is subjective evidence from senior students shows that the friendships and teamwork extends into the junior years, and for some of those students the friendships continue into the workplace after graduation. So 10th is ability to work with all the levels of people in organization. So the ability to get along with others. So 12th one is demonstrate ability to work well with the team. PO10 it tells with communication. So communicate effectively on complex engineering activities with the engineering community and with the society at large, such as being able to do, comprehend and write effective reports and design documentation, make effective presentations and give and receive clear instructions. Here, this is having some key competencies. First one is clarity in writing, grammar or punctuation, references, speaking style and subject matter. So here this communication is two types, written communication and oral communication. So here one, clarity, grammar or punctuation and references, speaking style, subject matter. Here PO11 is project management and finance. Here demonstrate knowledge and understanding of the engineering management principles and apply these to one's own work. As a member and a leader in a team to manage projects and in multidisciplinary environments. So first key competency of PO11 is scope statement, critical success factors, deliverables and work breakdown structure, schedule, budget, quality, human resource plan and stakeholder list, communication, risk register and procurement plan. So PO11 it is having 12 key competencies or vital features. So last PO that is PO12. So this is lifelong learning. So it can recognize the need for and have the preparation and ability to engage in the independent and lifelong learning in the broadest context of technological change. So first key competency is project management professional certification or MBA. Here begin work on advanced degree. So here keeping current in CSE and advanced engineering concept. So personal continuing education efforts. So ongoing learning stays up with industry trends or new technology. It is continued personal development and it can have learned at least 2 to 3 new significant skills. So have taken up to 80 hours training per year. So here PO12 it is having 8 key competencies or vital features. So here we have 12 POs and each PO it is having a different key competencies and vital features. So next COPO course articulation matrix mapping. So course articulation matrix shows the educational relationship between course outcomes and programs outcomes for the course. So course articulation matrix shows the educational relationship between course outcomes and program outcomes for the course. Here this matrix strongly indicates whether the student are able to achieve the course learning objectives. So the matrix can be used for any course and it is a good way to evaluate a course syllabus. So here the table 1. So next table 1, this table 1, it will gives information about the action verbs used in the POs and the nature of POs, stating whether the POs are technical or not technical. So we need to understand the intention of each POs and the Bloom's level to which each of these action verbs in the POs correlates. So we have to understand. So we have to understand the intention of each POs and Bloom's level to which each of these action verbs in the POs correlates to. Here, once you have understand the POs, then you can write COs for course outcome, course, and see what extent each of those COs correlate with POs. So once you understand the POs, then you can write the COs for each course, and we can see what extent of each course outcome correlated with POs. So this is a table 1. Here process for mapping values of COPO matrix. Here P1 technical and non-technical. Technical are PO1, PO2, PO3, PO4, PO5. So it's a non-technical PO6 to PO11, PO12. So action verbs are in POs. So apply, identify, formulate. So for PO1, apply. For PO2, identify, formulate, review. From PO3, design, develop. So PO4, analyze, interpret, design. So like that, we have to use action verbs and using different Bloom's levels. So apply means Bloom's. We have to specify the Bloom levels for POs. So like this, we have to use the POs and for the mapping of COs. Here, if Bloom's L1 action verbs of CO, so it correlates with any PO of PO6 to PO2, PO12. Then we have to assign with 1, row number 1. So here, if Bloom's L2 to L3 action verbs of CO, it correlates with any PO6 to PO12. So we have to assign with 2. Like that, we have to assign 1, 2, 3 depending on the POs and COs matching. So we have to correlate COs with the POs. So we have to correlate the COs with the key competencies of POs. We have to write down 1, 2, 3 depending on the key competencies. Key competencies of POs. So these are the verbs here. Different action verbs we have to use while writing CO and COs and POs here. So these are different Bloom's levels and different action verbs. So next, CO-PO mapping observations. So the first 5 POs are purely of technical nature. PO 1 to PO 5 up to PO 5. So while the other POs are non-technical. So for the theory courses, while writing the COs, you need to restrict yourself between level 1 to level 4. Again, if it is a programming course, restrict yourself between Bloom levels 1 to level 3. But for the other courses, you can go with Bloom's level 4. So for theory courses, we have to use up to Bloom's level 1 to level 4. So for programming courses, we have to use Bloom's level 1 to level 3. But other courses, we can use up to Bloom's level 4. Here for the laboratory courses, while composing COs, you need to restrict yourself between Bloom level 1 to Bloom level 5. Here only for mini project and main project, you may extend up to Bloom level 6. So Bloom level 6. So when you are only for mini project or main project, so you may extend up to Bloom level 6. So for a given course, the course in charge has to involve all the other professors who teach that course and ask them to come up with the CO-PO mapping. So the course in charge has to take average value of all of these CO-PO mapping and finalize the values our course in charge can go with the majority of the faculty members prefer for it. So we have to take average value of all of the faculty which are taking that course, and we have to prefer that CO-PO mapping. So here ensure that none of the professors who are handling the particular course discuss with each other while making CO-PO values. So here 6th is, if you want to match your COs with non-technical POs, then correlate the action verbs used in the course outcomes with the thumb rule given in the table and map the values. So this applies only for mapping COs to non-technical POs. Here, tips for assigning the values while mapping COs to POs. Here, select action verb for CO from different Bloom levels based on importance of particular CO for the given course. Here, stick on the single action verb while composing COs, but you may go for multiple action verbs if needs arises. If need arises, we can use multiple action verbs. You need to justify for marking of the values in COPO articulation matrix. So use a combination of words found in COs, POs and your core syllabus for writing the justification, and restrict yourself to one or two lines. So you need to justify for marking of the values of COPO articulation matrix. Use a combination of words found in COs, POs and your core syllabus for writing and justification. So values of COPO matrix can be assigned by judging the importance of particular CO in relation to the POs. If the CO matches strongly with the particular PO criterion, then assign 3. If the matches moderately, then assign 2. So if matches is lower than low, then assign 1. So else mark with symbol. So here mark with symbol. So if the the particular PO criterion so matches strongly, so we have to give 3. If it is matches moderately, so we have to give 2. If it is matches low, we have to give 1. If it is does not match, so we have to give -. So here, if an action verb used in CO is repeated at multiple Bloom's levels, then you need to judge with Bloom's level is the best fit for the action verb. Here, method of articulation. So identify the key competences of POs, PSOs to each CO and make a corresponding mapping table with assigning right mark at the corresponding cell. So one observation to be noted is that the first 5 POs are purely technical in nature, so while our other POs are non-technical. So justify CO, PO or PSO mapping with the justification statement and recognize the number of vital features mentioned in the justification statement. So that are matching with the given key attributes for assessing program outcomes. Use a combination of words found in a CO, POs, PSOs, so and your core syllabus for writing the justification. So we have to justify each CO, PO or PSO mapping with the justification statements and recognize the number of vital features. So we have to justify the each key competency or vital feature of the program outcome. So we have to justify each. We have to check the justification of each key competencies of POs. Then we have to map with that PO. So that if particular CO is mapped with POs, so we have to check the competence, how many key competencies are there for program outcome, and we have to give justification for the mapping of CO, PO with key competencies. Here, make the table with the number of key competencies for CO, PO or PSO mapping with the reference to the maximum given key attributes for assessment program outcomes. So make a table with the percentage of key competence. So for CO, PO mapping, so with the reference to the maximum key attributes for assessing program outcomes. So we have to CO, PO mapping, and we have to make a table with the number of key competencies for CO, PO or PSO mapping, and we have to make a table with the percentage of key competencies for CO, PO mapping. 3 tables. We need to make 3 tables. First CO, PO mapping with the right mark, and CO, PO mapping with the COPO with number of key competencies, and we have to COPO mapping with percentage of key competencies. So like this, we have to make COPO mapping. Here we have defined CO1, CO2, CO3, CO4, CO5, CO6. So CO1 is mapped with CO, PO1 and PO7. So we have to give right mark because this is satisfying the conditions of PO1 and PO7. So we have to give right mark. So CO2 is mapped with PO1 and PO7. So as well as CO3 and CO4 also mapped with PO1 and PO7. Here CO6, it is also mapped with PO4, means it is matching with PO1. CO6, it is mapped with PO1, PO4 and PO4 and PO7. So it is satisfying the conditions of PO1, PO4 and PO7. So like this, we have to map the CO-PO mapping with right marks. So this is the representation of right marks. If it is mapped with PO, and we have to give right mark. So in program outcomes, so this is another representation. Here we have PO1, we have 3 competencies. So here this is CO1 is mapped with PO1 and PO7. PO1 and PO7. So this is having 3 competencies, but it is satisfying 2 key competencies. Satisfying two key competencies, like that we have to write 2. So if it is mapped with 3 key competencies, we have to write 3. Like this, we have to write numbers. We have to write numbers of key competencies or vital features of the program outcomes, which are matched with the CO1 and CO1 to CO6. So here method for articulation. So finally, we have to make articulation matrix for CO-PO mapping. It is prepared with the COs and POs and COs and PSOs. So it can be prepared by COs and POs and POs and COs and PSOs at the scale up to 0 to 3 or 0 being no correlation. So we know that. So here 3 means 60%. It is substantial high. It is high. So high, it is mapped with here 1 being low or straight correlation, slight correlation. 2 means being medium or moderate correlation. So 3 means being substantial or high correlation. So when CO is having high correlation, we have to put 3. So CO when it is having moderate correlation, we should indicate 2. So low correlation means we have to specify. No correlation means we have to specify with hyphen. So this is method for articulation matrix of CO-PO or CO-PSO matrix. Here this is the table of CO-PO and CO-PSO's matrix. Here program outcomes and program specific outcomes. Here course outcomes CO1, CO up to CO6. Here, so we know that. So here, so CO3 means so 60% to 100%. Here in between 40 to 60%, it is moderately correlated. Low means below 40%. So no correlation means below 5%. So below 100%, that is high. So below 100, it is in between 60 to 100. So moderate means it is in between 40 to 60. So below 40, that is low. So below 5%, that is no correlation. So we have to, here we are getting 66.6. Means here the CO1 is correlated with PO1, highly correlated. So CO1 is highly correlated with the PO1. So means it is having 3 key competencies, but it is correlated with the 2 competencies. So then we will get 66.6%. So means it is highly correlated with the PO1. So like this, here it is correlated highly with the PO7 also, means it is 100%. So PO7, it is having 3 key competencies and it is also correlated with 3 key competencies. So we will get 100%. So like that. So we have to give percentages for each COs and POs, 66 points like that. So here, like this, we have to make the articulation matrix by using percentages of correlation. So here already we have discussed earlier. So program outcomes are defined by MBA. So so these are 12 program outcomes. So we are having 12 program outcomes. First one is engineering knowledge. So this is having 3 vital features. And its second one is problem analysis. It is having 10 vital features. So next one is design or development of solutions, 10 vital features. And it is conduct investigations of complex problems. So it is having 11 vital features. Modern tool usage, that is fifth program outcome. So it is having one vital feature. So the engineer and society, it is having engineering and society, that is having 5 vital feature. Seventh one is environment and sustainability. So this is having PO5, PO7, it is having 3 vital feature. And ethics, it is having 3 vital feature. Individual and teamwork, it is also having 12 vital features. And communication, it is having 5 vital features. And project management and finance, it is having 12 vital features. So next PO12, it is having 8 vital features. So this is about program outcomes, program specific outcomes, and COPO programs course outcomes, and levels of OBE, and how the COPO mapping is takes place. So like this, we have to map CO with PO. So from this, I'm concluding my session. So thank you so much.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.